Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Don't Take It Personally. I'm the co-host, Corey P, here with my other co-host.
I'm Tara.
That's fine. Hey, what's up, guys? We back at it again, man. Having a wonderful weekend, and just glad to be here. So, how you doing today, Tara?
I'm good. How you doing, Corey?
That's so fake. I just want y'all to know she's evil. She is evil.
Why would you say that like that?
Nah, she's a great co-host. You don't have a problem with calling you co-host. You see, I had to call myself co-host first because I didn't want to say host then co-host, and you'd be like, "Why I gotta be a co-host? Why I gotta be a co-host?"
Oh, it's your world.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's your world.
How they say, front for the gram? You front for the gram right now, big time. So let's start off this way today. So this is just such a great day. Let's jump right into the questions. We got some questions down, some stuff that people want to know. So let's start with this one. And you tell me what you think. Should a man take a single mother seriously when dating?
And when you say serious, what do you mean? Like to make her his girlfriend or wife?
Yes.
Tell me why he shouldn't.
No, ask your question. You answer the question. Answer the question.
Absolutely, I think a man should take a serious or take a single mom serious.
Why?
But okay, so let's break this down. So just because she has a kid doesn't mean she's spoiled. She can't be a good wife because she has a kid by a previous relationship.
No, I don't think that's the case, right? I think what the question is saying, especially from a man's perspective, is that a man that takes on a woman that already has a kid takes on a lot of unnecessary risk. Huge unnecessary risk. Would you agree?
When you say unnecessary, what is unnecessary?
Okay. For example, at the end of the day, that's not your child. Mm-hmm. So the child can display you. That's not your child. The mom can display it's not your child. But you still have to help support, take care of, raise that child if you want to be in a relationship with the mom. And there are a lot of moms out there, a lot of moms, single moms with kids that really, really say, hey, look, my child come first. So why would I be in a relationship with a woman that say my child come first? And oh, by the way, you have to parent my child the way I want you to parent my child because it ain't your child. Why would I do that?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what type of women that you be talking to, the 15 women that you talk to. But, so in this situation, do the man have any kids?
Oh, well.
Because if he has kids,
okay, and
she has kids, so if you have kids, how can you say, well, I'm not going to take you seriously because you have kids, but I have kids from a previous relationship as well?
Right.
Now, if you're single and you don't want to talk to anybody who has kids, I understand that. That's a preference. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, how can you hold a woman to a standard that you don't have?
Well, I for one, I don't think the word is fair, and I think there are how should I put it? What I'm looking for. I think there are double standards across the board. I think there are more double standards that benefit women than our men.
Of course you do.
But, well, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. Don't make me out to be this bad person. We just talking facts.
Of course you do, because it's always the men are the victim. The man is the victim.
Whoa. I always preface my conversation by saying men are not the victim. We are not victims. Men understand where our place is, and we understand that.
Do y'all?
Absolutely. Most men, right? Mm-hmm. Most men understand that. Most men understand that the world don't give a shit about your man. And you got to get up, get out, and make it happen, right? You just got to make it happen, right? If, for example, you take two situations, a man and a woman in the same situation, you can say some heartbreaking, somebody died, break up, right? If you put the woman on the internet and say, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm hurting. Everybody on the internet going to be supporting her. Oh, I'm sorry you went through it. You're going to be okay. Yes, queen. We love you. You're going to be all right. Manifest all this stuff. But if a man get on the internet and say, I'm heartbroken. My girlfriend broke up with me. Everybody on the internet going to be saying, get over it. You should have known better. Why you do it? Get up, dude. Keep going. You're going to be all right. Get up. You a man. Why you crying? Why you doing this? So, and I said it to say, not to sound like a negative, what would you say, a bitter black woman, right?
A bitter woman. We're not black women.
I'm sorry, a bitter woman.
Yes.
I don't want you to think, through this whole process of the podcast, I don't want you to think that I'm Men are not victims. Let's get that straight. Even though it may seem like that.
You do realize every time you throw out a statistic, it's in the favor of a man.
Well,
and it's against women.
Well, I believe it's not against women. It's just in favor of men. I believe that so much has been put out, and it makes men look evil all the time. But it's just not true. A lot of this stuff is not true. It's color purple folktale type junk that happened years ago. Story that was told from generation to generation to make men look like they're these evil monsters when they're not. Men help build the world. Men protect people. Men do a lot of positive things. So when I constantly hear stuff about, oh, this man ain't this and this man ain't that, and I'm like, guys, that ain't most men. They're just the guys y'all fuck with, the 2 or 3 fuck boys, or the 2 or 3 drug dealers, or the 2 or 3 rappers that y'all continue to mess with, that y'all put on these platforms, which I think is crazy. Putting all these actors and entertainers on platforms like they superhuman. They're just regular people with a lot of money, and they have a lot of talent, right? They have talent, but they, and man, we could talk about that. Like, I think our culture is trash. I think our culture is trash. What do you think?
I don't think our culture is trash.
I think it's absolute trash. But anyway, back to that. Okay.
But I think that I feel like when you say women are bashing men, I feel like these are these young social media raised kids that you are saying, because, well, you're saying that they treat men a certain kind of way. My generation that is not social media raised, I don't think we look at men like that. Now you have to agree, most men hurt women when they're getting their bearings together, before they get married, before they figure out who they want to marry and who they are. They have stomped on a lot of women, and women are expected to not let that make them bitter, and don't bring that baggage with you, don't bring all that hurt with you, and don't that man didn't do that to you, but you had 15 men before that did something to you, hurt, detrimental stuff. But we are supposed to be like, okay, get over it, and don't let that new man, he didn't do it. So when you say, women are this or women are that, you don't say anything about how men dog and do women wrong a lot of the times.
I think there are some men, and I ain't simping out for nobody, so I'm gonna tell you, I think there are some men out there that do some doggish things. Again, I will say this again, and I've been preaching to the high heavens. The men that you're talking about is a small percentage.
It's a small percentage of women.
Let me finish.
I know, but you can always say it's a small percentage of men, but then you talk, it's like you're talking like it's the majority of women who are doing that. You're not saying it's a small, you haven't said in your statements, it's a small percentage of women that feel like this about men. When you talk about them, it's always said like it's the majority.
I'm speaking specifically to a statement when I'm trying to defend men. I just want this perception that men are these evil people in the world. Like, if you take it from you, if you just look at the world, right? You turn on the TV, you turn on social media, they make it seem like men are these evil people in the world that's just destroying the world. And I mean, it's even when you look at social guidelines, right? If a man say something, and they do, right, say something negative continue to say something negative about women, he kicked off platform. Women can openly say, "I wish all men die. Men make me sick." I've seen it, and it stays on the platform. And I'm like, ain't this the same thing? If a woman talking about how they wish men would just go away, they hate all men. Ain't that the same thing?
I mean, because I don't know. I don't be on them type of man bashing platforms. Right. But if the world is going to shit, man has did it. And I say man, not a man, but man as far as like a male, because men rule the world, men make the laws, men do all. So if the world is, I'm just saying, most men are politicians, so all the rules are based on what men. You have all these rules about a woman's reproductive system, and don't have none about a man, but he get to make all these babies. You said in previous episodes,
well, men don't have any reproductive rights.
You have to, which your right is, you can stick and move how you want to. It's not.
But the woman has the same right.
No, we don't. We got birth control. If a woman get pregnant, it's the woman's fault. It's all this and all this. You have birth control.
Whoa. Time out.
No,
I'm
not finished. I'm not finished. Stop clapping.
Okay.
But you have birth control. You got abortion. You got all this, but you don't have any laws on the. You have any laws on the books about men having to get vasectomy. You don't have any birth control for a man. If a man can impregnate 100 women. And he can populate a whole city by himself. A woman can only get pregnant once every year, every 9 months. Why is the birth control geared towards a woman and not a man? Well, he's the one that's around here spreading them bad seeds.
I agree. Can I speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh God, this is a little spicy. I like this. One, let's go with the. They did try male birth control, but male birth control was literally killing men, and you know this.
And it's killing women.
Men. No. I ain't talking about long-term effects. Men were dropping dead when they tried male.
They
birth
can
control.
always be in the lab, getting it more. You got Viagra.
Absolutely.
For a man.
Absolutely.
It took you 20 years.
$10 billion, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. To get it to work, then you can do it with the birth control.
So would you say this, right? Would you say when somebody has the authority or the power to make the decision, they should hold the brunt of the responsibility of the decision? Would you say that?
Say it one more time.
If somebody get the power to make the decision, if I have the power to make the decision, however the decision, whatever happens because of the decision I make, I should own the brunt of the responsibility of the decision if I'm making the decision. Would you say that?
I mean, I somewhat agree.
All right, somewhat agree. All right, follow me. Stay with me now. Stay with me. So, if 1,000% sex depends on the woman giving the permission, yes or no? Hold on. Let me finish.
I need clarification before you move on.
I'm going down the road.
Say that one more time.
A woman has to give a man permission to have sex with her. Yes or no? A woman has to. The law is made to where.
Does he? No.
The man don't have to. The law is made to where a woman got to be the one to say yes.
Does he always abide by that permission?
Well, we ain't talking about. Let's speak in general. We ain't talking about always, because and more times than not, men do abide by that. They do ask for permission.
That. No, they don't.
More
times than not.
So you think majority of the women in the world that have had sex, somebody forced themselves on them?
More times than.
I ain't talking about one time. I'm talking about every sexual experience.
No.
That means in itself.
I feel like. No, I don't feel like he's like, a woman said, yeah, let's have sex, and a man said no. I feel like sometimes she's coerced. Sometimes I
think coercion is bullshit. But
but
let's say after this,
sometimes she is like I said, she's coerced. Sometimes she is forced. Sometimes she is she says yes because she really don't want to say no, but then don't want to get hurt behind it. So I don't think that a woman can say yes, let's have sex, and a man say, okay, let's have sex, Mary. I
don't know what guys you talk to. But I believe that generally speaking, majority of the time, if you ask me, majority of the men get permission from the woman to have sex, or the ones that want to do it right, they get permission from the woman to have sex.
Yeah, let's go with that. The ones who want to do it right.
All right,
let's not take out the word majority.
All right, so. Generally speaking, ones that want to do it right. So, I can clap if I want to. So, with that being said, if I'm the person that holds the power for sex, I have all the power in my hand. I can tell a man simple as this: look, we ain't having sex unless you wear a condom. And I know you're gonna say, hey, some men take the condom off. I get it, but you can also say, I ain't having sex unless I'm on birth control. Or as a woman, you can say, look, I don't want to have sex until I get married. A woman holds that power. But the biggest thing is, once that sperm leaves that man's body, he has absolutely no reproductive rights. And follow me. A man, we could be having sex. No, just not us. Not us, right? A man and a woman could be having sex, right? Could be having sex. And a man could tell a woman, look, we doing this. I don't want no kids. She could say, I don't want no kids. But the woman ended up getting pregnant. And he like, okay, well, you're pregnant, And she could say, well, I'm going to have this child. Well, I didn't want the child. Well, I'm going to have it. Once the baby's born, he's going to be held to a standard. If she go through the process, courts, whatever, the law is going to make him pay child support for a child he did not want for 18, 21 years. and he said, I didn't want this kid. I just wanted to have sex. Right? A woman can get pregnant, drop her child off at a place to give her child up for adoption, and not pay a cent to these people that got that child, because she has all the rights of reproduction. Once that sperm leave a man's body, he has no more rights. Let me land the plane. Come on,
land it. Come on, bring it in.
Yeah, don't rush me.
I'm not. But you're long-winded.
I want to be long-winded because I gotta get my point across. Because you know how you just I see your forehead burn up there.
Because you're going on and on and on, and I don't feel like one has anything to do with the other. A man has reproductive. Okay, so if a man didn't want to have kids, he need to take every precaution not to have kids.
I agree.
Whether it's a condom, vasectomy, whatever it is, once that sperm is inserted into that woman's body, that's you gave it away, so it's no longer yours.
Yeah, but
it's no longer yours.
But why is he held to a different standard than the woman when she's the one that has all the power?
And she has all the power. We mean to have the baby.
Yeah, she can
it's
decide.
My body.
But regardless if it's your body or not, it's still half his. Absolutely,
the child is. But the process of making that child into a human
cannot happen without my sperm.
It cannot happen without your sperm. It can't happen without my uterus. So my uterus, your sperm is 6 seconds until when you ejaculate and you get that woman pregnant. But the process is 9 months of my body having to conform to this parasite. Not saying that, but a baby is a parasite because it's living off the host. So there's 9 months of that. That's what it is. It's a parasite.
I got it.
9 months of it. You can go on. So when that lady is 3 months pregnant, 4 months pregnant, or whatever, you go on about your business. You can possibly impregnate somebody else. So
that's the way it was meant to be.
Okay, then. So why do you need control over something that is no longer inside your body? It's in my body for 9 months. It was only in your body for those 2 minutes that you ejaculated.
The millions of sperm that I had to ejaculate inside you.
Okay.
I'm not saying they want control. I'm saying if things supposed to be equal.
But you just tell me it's a double standard.
Absolutely is.
So it's okay to double standard to be geared towards the man. But when it's a fluke or it's 1 out of 5 million, the double standard is geared to the woman. No.
Absolutely. It's not. Hey, like I said, it's more double standards that benefit women than they do men, and I'm okay with it. And most men are. What I'm talking about is we could talk about that another show, double standard, and I can. Anyway, what I'm talking about is just reproductive rights. If it's supposed to be equal, and all I'm saying is it's not equal. It's not equal when it comes to reproductive rights. But you're saying reproductive rights.
Your right is your sperm. You gave your sperm away. You gave it away. So once you gave it away and you inserted it into a woman's vagina and it produced the egg and all that, it's no longer yours.
It's not the part I'm talking about.
Hold on. But not only do men have a say-so in a woman's reproductive rights.
No, we don't.
How come you got abortion laws?
We just made it. It's equal now. You can't abort them just like I can't do nothing with a child. But once it leaves my body, you can't abort it. Now it's just equal. But
no, it's not equal because it's my body.
Regardless if it's your body or not. Hold on. You can't kill a child just like I can't kill a child.
It's not regardless. It's my body. If I decide that I don't want any kids and that guy wants kids, but I say I don't want kids or it's going to put me in harm, a man says no, have this kid anyway.
No.
Yes, that's the law, Corey.
The law is equal now.
It's
just like I can't kill a child, you can't kill a child.
You don't carry a child.
It doesn't matter if I carry it or not. It's still my child.
It needs to matter.
Only matters
you don't carry a child.
When you look at it,
you have control over what my body is doing, and that's not right.
You don't carry a child. We're not talking about what's right in your mind.
I'm talking about what's right. Period. A man should not be in a woman's vagina. Period. About her reproductive.
How long have abortions been around?
Forever.
Not forever.
Forever.
Well, they did
forever.
They did black market abortion, but I'm saying legal. Legal. How long abortions been legal?
The only reason why abortions are illegal is because a man say it's immoral. You go back and do your statistics. You've been having abortions. Right. People been having abortions since the day of time.
I know that.
But a man said. And not a woman, but a man said, oh, that's wrong. You don't need to be killing a baby. That's immorally wrong. My Bible this or my God say this. That's wrong. Man said it was wrong.
Okay. Just so we're clear now, I'm all about people having the option and the choice to do whatever
let's
they want to do.
Known. It's
hey,
I didn't know.
If somebody, I'm not with the politics of pro-choice, pro-life. I'm with the politics to say you have a choice as an adult, as long as it's within law or whatever. You if you can choose to do it, you can choose to do it. If you wanna go outside when it's cold with shorts on, if that's your choice, that's your choice. I'm all about people having choice. I'm all about that. The only part of the whole thing when we were talking about reproductive rights, again, I'm not talking about necessarily when the sperm leave your body, you gave it away. I'm not talking about that part. I got that, right? But what I'm talking about is that a man could say, I don't want a kid. I don't want to be in the kid's life. Anyway, he's going to be attached with, hey, you're going to have to pay child support. If a woman goes through it for 18 years, you're going to pay child support. A woman can say, I don't want a child. I don't want to have anything to do with it and give it away and not worry about 1 cent or 1 iota about the child for the rest of her life. Matter of fact, the child don't even exist anymore. And even if the people do try to do whatever.
In that situation, is the man here responsible? If she get a child up, do he have to pay child support?
No, he don't have to pay child support because she gave it up.
So that's even.
No.
If you don't want kids,
even if you flip it and the man say, I want my child, the woman still can give it away.
Not without him signing over his rights? If
he wasn't there, if he wasn't the person that was literally there at part of right, he gonna have to go through court and all that, right? But just say men and women, they have a long distance relationship. A man and woman have a long distance relationship. A man want a child, want a family. Woman don't want to have a child, whatever. He get her pregnant. She break up with him. He ain't never gonna know he got a kid or whatever. And she can say, well, I'm giving this child up for adoption. He'll never know. He'll never know.
The laws are geared to if that woman says, I want to give the child for adoption, either she lied and say, I don't know who the kid's father is.
Which is easy to do.
It is. Or she say, this is the kid's father, and she can't give up that child unless he signed over rights. Because those are his rights.
What?
And even if she say, I don't know, they may do a DNA test, and they may do... Like, I don't know that aspect of like give it up adoption.
They don't care.
I don't know.
They don't care that deep about it.
But if a man don't want to have kids, and he's having sex, get a vasectomy. It's reversible. Do that. So that way you don't have to run into those.
In most cases, vasectomy being reversible, it's highly unlikely. But
no, it's not highly unlikely. It's so much easier for a man to get a vasectomy and not have kids and get it reversed.
We're not talking about. So it's easy to put the responsibility on a person that doesn't have the power or the authority.
What do you mean?
It's easy.
You have the power authority of your own body. You have the power authority of your own penis. So if you choose not to have any kids, get a vasectomy. It's an elective.
I got it. It's
fairly cheap.
And it's true.
So
how the hell you gonna talk about vasectomy? You got a vasectomy before?
No, I just know that it's because I am in medical field, so I do know that it's elective and it's easier.
I know people that have a vasectomy. I've even thought about having a vasectomy at my age because it's like I'm done. It's a wrap for me, right? I know I have colleagues or had colleagues that have had vasectomy, and I've had one to try to reverse it, didn't work. Everybody's body's different.
Right.
I think vasectomy is a reputable choice if somebody don't want to have kids, especially at an older age. And if you had to ask me, like if I'm married with my wife and we're both older, we don't want to have kids anymore, I'd rather me get a vasectomy than her be on birth control because her birth control mess with her body.
Right.
That's just me. But I'd rather do that.
But what I'm saying is a man can choose to have a vasectomy at 21, 22. A woman cannot choose to have a hysterectomy or her tubes tied. I take the hysterectomy. Her tube tied.
But a woman can choose not to have sex.
A man can too, babe.
Absolutely. I agree. But what I'm saying is, but the person that holds the brunt of the responsibility, has the power, the choice. They have the responsibility. Like if I'm a woman and I know I can get pregnant, it's my responsibility to do everything I can so I don't get pregnant.
Okay, so if I know I'm a man and I can get somebody pregnant that I don't want to get pregnant, then I'm gonna hold the responsibility of not getting her pregnant.
Okay, but if I'm a man that don't care and I don't care about, like you talk about future with these 13 kids, I don't care. I won't have kids. Okay, but it's not my choice.
You gotta pay child support because you out here loose with your penis.
Okay, and I don't care about that.
You gotta pay child support.
If I'm a billionaire man, I don't give a shit about child support. Okay. I don't care anything about it. Which flows to something else. Now as a mom, I'm a mom with a kid by a man that don't even want a child, and now I got to try to raise this child by myself. When I could have just said, I don't want. I'm gonna make sure I don't get pregnant by that guy. I'm gonna make sure I don't get pregnant.
But I don't understand why the responsibility is completely on the woman.
I didn't say completely. I said the brunt.
It shouldn't be the brunt because we're equally. I can't get a kid without your semen.
We're not equal.
And equal in this situation about getting pregnant. I'm not saying equal as a man and as a woman.
No, I'm saying equal. We're not equal when you have all the rights. Once the sperm leaves my body, I don't have any rights about anything.
But if you don't want any kids, you have a right to not. You have a right over your body to go get a vasectomy, right? When I say equal, meaning we can't make a kid. I can't make a kid by myself. You can't make one by yourself. We're equal in that aspect. So why is the brunt of if I get pregnant? Oh, that's all on me. But I couldn't do it by myself.
You can't do it by yourself as it relates to the sperm point, but you have all. You have maybe you understand what I'm saying.
Don't tell me what I understand because I do understand.
I said you. Whoa, with the attitude now.
No, because don't tell me.
I said maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
I completely understand.
Now I got a mansplaining.
Oh Lord, here we go. Get your papers out, ladies. We gonna mansplain.
No. The only point I'm trying to make. The only point I'm trying to make about this is again, in every situation, well, in most situations, especially if somebody has the brunt of the authority, they should have the brunt of the responsibility. CEOs of the company. It's so many CEOs of the company get fired for somebody else, what somebody else do. And the reason they get fired is because they're responsible. Even if they ain't do it, they're responsible for the people that do the stuff that they did. And now you fired. You should have handled it. You should have knew that.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is if a woman has the blunt of the rights, she can, hey, I can do whatever I want not to get pregnant. I can kill the kid. I can have an abortion. In some states, I can give it up for adoption. I have all this stuff. I have way more because the only thing you can do is give it to me or not give it to me. Once you give it to me, it's over. If you don't give it to me, it's over from the beginning. Once I get it, I can choose to do whatever I want to do with it. And you get absolutely no say-so of what I do or how I do it. You don't have any say-so at all. Even if we're a loving couple and I'm a man that, I want to be a father. I'm so excited. The woman can say, I don't want a kid. I'm killing it. I'm having an abortion. Maybe we shouldn't be saying that. I'm discarding the kid. I'm getting rid of the kid, or I'm gonna give it up for adoption. And this man could be hurt. Like, man, that was my child. Mm-hmm. But he has absolutely no say so once to leave him. So I just believe that the person in any situation that has a majority, of the authority should have the brunt of the responsibility.
I disagree. I have a right to my body.
You do. I
have a right to my body, and if I don't want a kid. We should, if we both agree that we don't want kids, or if you say you don't want a kid and I do, or what, vice versa, I feel like the person who don't want a kid need to take responsibility, either get a vasectomy, get their tubes tied, or get whatever.
I got it, but I use the other way around. What if the man wanted a child and the lady was like, okay,
and the lady don't,
and then she came back and said, nah, I don't want this kid. Instead of having it give it to him, she killed the kid, but that's her right, and he's like, I don't want this to happen. There's no judge he can go and stand in front of and say, Judge, don't let her body. Exactly. That's the point. If she get to make all those choices.
However, man is in a woman's reproductive system with these laws about abortion.
We're not talking about the laws. The laws are the laws. We can't change the laws.
We can because somebody had to make them, babe.
Absolutely.
So you can't change them.
But I'm saying right here in this conversation. So let's just say the laws are what they are. They cannot be changed at this particular second. Right now, we can't change the law. We can't walk over there and say, this law has changed. It is what it is. All I'm saying is, which I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying.
Yeah.
The woman has the brunt of it. She has, again, I'm a man, I want my child. The woman says, yeah, we're going to have this baby. And then she get to thinking, somebody tell her something. She realized she can't live a certain life, whatever. And she decide, well, you know what? I don't want this child. There's no judge I can go and stand in front of and say, Judge, she don't want the baby. Give it to me. She ain't got to worry about nothing dead in her life. I won't talk to her. Just give me the child.
You say that. It may be. He can stop her from having an abortion. If he, you don't know that.
I'm telling you. Google it. He can't.
No,
he can't stop. A man
can't
stop a woman from having an abortion because it's her body, it's her choice.
Right. However, I mean, they got all the kind of shows on SVU where the man has
SVU. What's that?
SVU, Special Victims.
Oh, okay.
Where they stop the process, like if a woman in a coma gets pregnant, and they want to abort.
So guys, she got to be in a coma. She got to be in a coma, guys.
And she gets pregnant.
She got to be in a coma.
And the person wants the kid or whatever. Yeah.
So they keep her in a coma until the baby get born.
Until the baby's born, and they stop it. Or a rapist. Hold on, a rapist
can't say the word. Can't say the R word.
You can't say rapist.
Grape. No, you can't say it on the internet.
A person who takes
grape. You can say grape.
Okay, a person.
Or N-A. S-A.
A person who takes sex without permission, that's a male, can go to the courts and say, now she's pregnant and I want rights to this kid. That has happened. So it's not all about a woman can do whatever she want to do with her body. That's not true. Right. And that's unrealistic to say.
Even with what you're saying, that has happened and has happened. Would you say that that's an exception to the rule? It's not the norm.
It may not be the norm.
Okay, then we speaking on the norm.
What?
There are exceptions for everything. It's somebody that jumped off a 10-story building and lived to talk about it. But the norm is if you jump off that damn building, you're gonna die.
Well, okay. So that means that for a woman, let's bring it back to the subject we had. Mm-hmm. If a woman has a single mom, she shouldn't be dateable or taken seriously because she has a kid, because it's a possibility that she may be it's my kid. Yeah. What about if, because you can have genuine relationships with kids that are not biologically yours.
I'm glad you said that.
So you can love that kid as if it's yours.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is you can love that kid as if it's yours, but the mom still have a right. What if you and the mom break up? She can keep you away from that kid, and then you can do about it. Yeah. Unless you adopt that kid, which right. now he's yours. Not only he's yours by law, but he's not going to be yours by what the mom say and the kids say. So she can still treat you like you're not the dad, which you're not.
No, but if you adopt that kid, that you are the dad.
Yeah, you are the dad.
So you're going to have visitation rights?
That's by law. But what I'm saying is the mom can be in the kid ear and still saying that's not your real daddy.
Yeah.
And she can tell you that's not your dad. So by law, you may have options to do with the kid. But who wants to deal with a kid that's running around saying, you're not my dad? You're not my dad.
I mean, but that's an exception to the rule.
That's not an exception to the rule. No, that's not an exception to the rule.
That's not the norm.
That's not an exception.
That's not the norm.
For women having women telling kids that's not your dad, that's not the exception to the rule.
Yes, it is. It's not majority. That's not majority, Corey. So tell me it's the majority. That's what I thought.
I'm gonna tell you, it's more. It happens more often than not.
Didn't say that, but it's not the majority.
It happens more often than not. But
it's not the majority because you have a lot of people out here. Mm-hmm. You have a lot, and if you look on social media, you look wherever, you have a lot of people that saying, that's my dad. I know that wasn't my dad. Kids gonna be like, I hate you. They're gonna be, I hate you, and they come out your body.
Yep.
And they still hate you or whatever the case may be because that's kids. They don't know. But you have a lot of people out here that will take on that responsibility and take on it full-fledged. And that kid may or may not be like, you're not my real dad. And they work through that.
Mm-hmm. I think the point that I want to make about this, and I want to get my point across to get it understood. I understand there are exceptions. I understand things happen both sides. What I'm saying is one of the men's main responsibility, especially when he's going through this travel called life, is to mitigate risk. Why would I put myself in a situation where the risk is off the chart when I can just go over here and start? Let me finish. Why I can go over here and start my own thing? Why would I put myself in a situation where I might deal with somebody saying you ain't my dad, or I might deal with my woman when I whoop the kid because the way that I whoop my kid, she was like, nah, you ain't gonna hit my kid. I don't like that. You don't have a problem me taking care of him. You don't have a problem me practicing basketball. You don't have a problem me doing his homework. But when I want to discipline, because remember, in those dynamics and situations, the number one thing that they disagree with the most is the discipline part, right? It's been times where my wife look at me crazy when I discipline my sons, but she didn't have a sword to fall on, so to speak, because that's my child. Mm. I'm going to do this because it's my child. I have his best interest. And she's like, well, why you say that or why you do that? Because it's my son. I'm trying to make sure he get right. If a man goes into a relationship where it's a step relationship, he may not have majority of the time unless he signed on paper. He don't have those rights. So he had to deal with you can't whoop my son. Don't talk to my daughter like that. Don't do any of that stuff. Right. And those are things that I'm saying.
And I feel like that's fine. But if you have a kid and you're saying you're not going to date a single parent, a single mom, then why is it that you can hold her to a standard that you're not held to, Corey? Because whoever you date that doesn't have a kid, if you go out, you have a kid, you have that kid from a previous relationship, and you go out dating a single woman, and she says, because ultimately, she's going to be this child's stepmom or, in part a part of this child's life, and she can't do that. She can't discipline this kid. She can't do this, or she wants to comb this child a different hair. I have it dressed when I go out with her, and you okay with her doing that, and she run the risk of y'all breaking up, or she develop a relationship with this kid, and y'all break up, and you take the kid to the second wife or to the second girl. All I'm saying is that why, if that's the preference that you want, then don't have kids. And if you can't, situations where you say you got married and you got divorced. Yeah. So now, because you have this kid, you want to date somebody who doesn't have kids because you don't want to run the risk of them not, of them taking the kid away from you, or you disciplining the kids where you want to, and she disagree with it. Okay. You can flip it on to a man. A man can do the same thing.
So it's three things that I wanted. I'm trying to remember all three. The first thing that I wanted to bring up with that is, wouldn't you say in most situations, right, that if two people have a kid, majority of the time, generally speaking, the kid goes with the mom.
Yeah, generally.
All right. So if I'm a man and I have kids, and my kid that I have is generally with their mom, it's gonna be way less effective for a woman that I'm dating versus me dating a woman with kids where the kids around her 24/7. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I mean, what if her kids are not with her 24/7? What if it's,
but we hold on. We just
majority of the time.
Okay,
yes,
but that's what I'm speaking of.
But the man still have rights. So what if?
Listen, just
but
follow
I'm saying
me,
the majority of the time. What if the majority of the time is
follow
not?
Along with this?
I get
with just
what you're
this
saying.
Point. I get it. You trying to. I get it. You want to make it to where you want to throw a monkey wrench. But just follow along with me with this. All right. If we agree that majority of the time the kids stay with the mom. If we agree, stop telling me don't clap. I'm talking with my hand. If we agree that majority of the time the kids stay with the mom, right? I have a kid. Kids spend 80% of their time with their mom. That is not nowhere close. If the kids spend let's say the kids spend 80% of the time with their mom. And let's say the woman I'm dating has a kid and the kids spend 80% of the time with her. Right? That's nowhere close. For her, it's almost going to be like, in certain extents, except those 20% of the time, it's going to be like, I don't have a kid. Because she still can come over my house when she wants to. There's no kid there. Because the kid don't spend there 20% of the time. We can still do things. And I don't have to be, I'm not handcuffed by the fact that I got to find a babysitter every time we want to do something with the kid. Because the kid, majority of the time, is with the mom. So that's the difference between a man having a kid and a woman having a kid from that aspect. The second thing I wanted to talk about, we're talking about stepdads, or let's talk about stepdads in particular. It's a very, very strenuous and tough thing if you're being a stepdad to a woman with girls. Like, you almost have to isolate yourself because you can be put in a very peculiar situation at any given time. Like, and you probably seen it because it went viral, right? This woman was telling her daughter, but the man recorded, was telling her daughter, he touched you, didn't he? He touched you. That's what you say. You better say it. And the little girl like, what the hell? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, he touched me. But he caught it on camera, right? And even if that's an exception to the rule, you still putting yourself at risk of that, especially, and men just got to know this, right? You put yourself at risk because what if the little girl get mad and say, he hit me, and then turn into he hit me wrong, into he touched me or something like that. And then now it's a whole different atmosphere. I'm not saying it happened often. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm saying it has a chance to happen. So it has happened and it will continue to happen. And men has to, you got to know that, especially like I have nieces and I be freaked out around my nieces, right? Yeah, I'm like, I ain't changed no girl Pampers. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but because you just have to be super careful about this stuff as a man, right? Why, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
you get what I'm saying?
I get it.
I ain't taking the nieces to the...
I understand that.
Let me do my third one.
Okay.
Right? And the third one was... What was the third one? I talked about that. And the third one was... we keep talking about things being equal, but it's not. Or the same, it's not. Right? There just are some scenarios and situations in life where one side will probably benefit from it more than the other side. And it's just the reality. We could talk about how all day long how we want it to be, but it's how we want it to be and how it is. And I think with a lot of things are a certain way. And I think that's the part that's keeping us from progressing, because a lot of people, they want to say what they want it to be and not take into consideration what it actually is. No, this is what's happening. You want it to be that way maybe, but this is the reality of the situation. So those are my 3 points.
Okay. So you think that if a man dates a woman with a kid,
mm-hmm.
he has, should a man date a woman with a kid?
I think, well, we can go 2 ways right there, and nowhere else in the animal kingdom do animals take on other animals. They usually kill them off or whatever the case may be. In the animal, seriously, if you
I get it. So we need to. I should have been killed.
No. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is, what makes human beings think that they're so special to where they can make choices and then their choices get rectified, whether it's good or bad, because you still have to deal with whatever choices you got. It's supposed to be rectified just because you are who you are. It's going to be some troubles. It's going to be some stipulations. It's going to be some things you have to deal with. So I'm not saying don't talk to single moms. I strongly would tell my kids, my sons, don't talk to single moms, because they're putting themselves at a risk that they don't have to do, because they can go out and talk to somebody with no kids. Why,
so
don't do it.
What is the statistics on women without any kids?
What's the question?
I just asked the question.
What's the statistic?
How many women compared to women who do have kids? How many don't have kids? That's a smaller number.
I'll have to look that up.
That's a smaller number compared to women who have kids.
I would agree. It's a lot of women out there with kids.
Now,
But just because a lot of women out there with kids, I mean, they should be.
So they don't need any love, like.
No, I'm not saying they don't need love. They still made a choice. They made that choice.
What choice?
To have a child. They chose to have a child.
Yeah, they made the choice.
So they have to deal with the consequences.
And
one of
the consequences is not to have any other dating life.
No.
You got a kid. You made that choice to have a kid, but you didn't make that kid by yourself. But if you choose to keep the kid and the dad go on and he go to somebody who don't have a kid, he has a kid, and he reproduce with that woman, and they live out. But this woman who he has a kid by, they don't take care of, that he don't see, that he don't have to. Because sometimes, he's like, okay, he can say, I don't have no kids. Meaning, I'm not going to pay child support. I'm not going to take care of that kid. I'm not going to make sure that kid got clothes or whatever case may be. And I'm going to go on about my business. He's free. And this woman is not. And what if he trapped that lady? What if, they both agree that they ain't wanting kids, but he poked holes in the condom, or he didn't wear the condom and got her pregnant. And now, she's like, okay, well, her morals says she's not going to abort the baby or get it for adoption or whatever case. So she's going to, now the situation has changed. They both agreed early on that we don't want kids, but now the situation has changed. And he's like, you know what? Nah, I don't want no kid. And he move on. So now she is forced to be a single parent. Mm-hmm. And she's not of value enough for another man to come in and say, okay, the circumstances was where they were. And I'm going to, I want to help you raise this kid. I like you enough. I like your kid enough to build a family with you or build a relationship with you. And let's go forward. Now she got to be some kind of pariah in society that she's a single parent or she's a single mom. Oh my goodness. She, I don't get that. I don't. But, so I was a single parent.
The reason, okay. And that's why you're passionate about this?
No, and people had preconceived notions about me being a single parent.
I don't think it's preconceived notions.
No. I'm telling you.
I'm not talking about for you. I'm just saying in general.
I'm just saying people have family, friends, or whatever. I'm a single. What, Corey?
No. Go ahead, because I want to ask a question.
What's your question?
I'll ask you a question. So women that having kids without being married, right? Right. So you're saying a man trap a woman, that situation, I understand. Would you say that majority of the women these days are having kids out of wedlock. Majority of women.
You saying these days?
Yeah, in the generation, right? What's going on now? Period.
Yeah,
right, they have
a lot of women are having kids.
What would you say?
Being married.
What would you say? Because remember, what is it? 50, 60 years ago, over 85% of people were married. But would you say that if women right now, if all the women in the world right now told men, you cannot have sex unless you married me, would you think? Do you believe that marriage rates would skyrocket?
I don't know.
If all the women said no to sex, because that used to be the rule. That's why a lot of virgins got married. You know, when they did get married, it was a virgin. You got a virgin, you had a kid, whatever. And back in those days, the rule was...
The woman was a virgin, the man wasn't.
The woman was a virgin? I don't know about the man.
No, men ain't never been a rule to like, well, let's both be a virgin. It's like, I want to be able to break open that threshold while I done broke open a whole bunch of other people's thresholds. But you know why that was the case. Why men require women... I don't care to know why it was the case.
Well, I'm going to tell you now since you don't care. Let me explain to you, because you remember DNA testing is a futuristic thing. It just came around. There was a time men wanted virgins so they can prove paternity. That was the whole point of being a virgin. I want to make sure this kid is mine.
That wasn't the whole point.
Absolutely. Hold up, time out. You spoke your piece. Now it's time for me to speak mine. Yeah. I'm telling you this for a fact. And you can look it up. You can do all the research. No. I'm telling you. Well, we do have this thing called research that you can happily do. Men wanted virgins for paternity.
100%.
Paternity. Listen to what I'm saying.
Asking.
Listen to what I'm saying. If you put one man in a room with 12 women, all 12 of those women know who got them pregnant. You put one woman in a room with 12 men, who's the dad? You don't know. That's the whole point of wanting a virgin. That's the whole point of seal not being broke. Because remember, there was no condoms there. There was no birth control. None of this stuff happened. None of that stuff was going on back then.
Yeah, of course, because back in the day, men were upstanding citizens, and they didn't have this, they didn't have this ego of like, I want to be able to break that threshold. However, I have broke 4 other down the street thresholds, but I want to be able to prove paternity when if I get you pregnant. That's some bullshit, Corey.
It's not bullshit. It's the truth.
It wasn't always about, well, I want to prove.
I ain't say it was always. I said majority. It
was ego.
It wasn't ego, Ty.
Okay.
It's only one way to prove that this child is yours. They had no way of proving that the kid was yours. The only way you can prove the kid was yours if you are the only person sleeping with that person. The only way you can prove that back then was, hey, she hadn't been touched. She hadn't had sex with anybody. So I know there's no possibility that she could be pregnant by anybody because she hadn't had sex with anybody.
And that's true, but I don't think that was majority of the reason. What you mean? I don't have to think.
That's the reason.
No, Corey.
When we talk about paternity, Ty.
Listen to what I'm saying, because you're not saying what I'm saying. Yes, for a man to want to have a virgin, part of it was to prove paternity. Some of it was that it was ego. So
you can't. There's nothing for you to verify or justify ego. I can back what I'm saying up with actual numbers. I can back it up with facts, right? And the facts clearly show if a man, because remember at the end of the day, a man still want legacy. He want kids. If a man want a child, those kind of men they still exist, right? Men still want legacy, want a family, want kids, right? I wanted kids, I wanted a family, whatever. And those men still exist. Back then, the only way they know that these are my kids, because remember, my kids are going to get everything that I have. So to make sure that I'm taking care of my kids, these are my kids, I need a woman that hadn't had sex, because there wasn't no such thing as pull-out game or condoms or birth control and that. Most of the time when you had sex with a woman, you did it to get her pregnant. Most of the time. So
it didn't happen that a man wanted a virgin, but he has deflowered.
Deflowered, okay.
Yeah. Other virgins.
I'm not saying
I'm asking.
I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure that happened.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that happened.
So with that being said, does body count matter for a man?
Oh, man, you go up to down, huh? Does body count matter for a man?
That's a good segue.
It is. Okay. Does body count matter for a man? I'm going to say yes and no.
What's the no?
It doesn't matter to women, which is the most important part.
I said, what do you mean?
That's the no.
I said, does body count matter yes for a man? Well, so what a woman come in at?
No, I'm trying to tell you. Before you go all duking on me.
You woman bashing.
No, that's not woman bashing. I'm not woman bashing. I'm just speaking what it is.
So
it's yes and no.
The no part is what?
Well, let me say the yes part first. Then maybe that's easy to. It does matter. I think body count should matter because I think a man should be. I think to a certain extent it matters. A man should be careful. You got to make sure you're watching what's going on. You got to pay attention to what's going on in life. You shouldn't be out there in the streets doing a lot of things unless that's a whole different story. So it does matter. You just got to be extremely careful what's going on and who you're dealing with. The part that I'm saying, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, for majority, or let's say, generally speaking, body count doesn't matter for women. They don't care about how many women that a man slept with.
Let me stop you there because I wanted you to say from a man's perspective.
That is a man's perspective.
No. So if it matters for a man, don't put on that part. Well, for women, it don't. I don't want you to speak on what it matters for a woman. I just asked, does a body count count for?
I am. Let me explain. The reason I say it doesn't matter for a woman. So if I want women and women are telling me that I don't want a man that done slept with over 20 women, if they saying that and they truly stick to that, then I'm either going to lie about it or don't do it because I want a woman. But when women tell you that they don't care how many women you sleep with and they show you that they actually want a man that has experience with you sleeping with more women, or they want a man that's out there with a lot of women, when they show you that, then it's telling you they don't care.
My
so
question
if they don't
for
care,
you, Corey, is my question for you. I'm not asking for what women expect out of a man with the body count. I'm asking for does a body count matter for a man? Meaning if you know a woman got 20 bodies, does that matter for him?
Oh, does a man care about a woman's body count?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought you said does a body count matter for a man, meaning my body count. So you're talking about does a woman care about a man body count? I mean, does a man care about a woman?
I would answer the question if a woman, but
does a man care about a woman body count? Yes, a man does care about a woman body count.
Why?
I think it's several reasons for that. One, when you look at it from a man's perspective, and don't interrupt me.
Don't tell me don't interrupt you because I'm going to interrupt you just because you said it.
I know it. But a man, so if a man is doing certain things, like right now, the way the laws are set up, and you like to talk about laws, a woman could really destroy a man, take everything he got, keep it moving. She can take everything he got. If you deal with the wrong woman, I think that women that I think it's been shown. Well, in my life, I've seen women when they have certain characteristics that go along with having multiple partners and they're not connected and they just don't care. And you see them out in the street loosey goosey. I think those women are more prone to do things that could potentially hurt a relationship, whether it be cheat on them, whether it be get pregnant by somebody else, whether it be take you down through it because she's bored. Because women are very hypergamy. They want something better. They always want to do better, want something better.
And a man don't.
So, no, men are not hypergamous. They don't even line up right. But you have your chance to speak on men.
Golly.
You have your chance. So, I think
woman
so.
Bash. Continue with your woman bash.
That's not woman bashing. If I'm a man or a woman, and I think smoking brings certain characteristics like ashes, smell, then I'm gonna try to stay away from people that smoke. So if I'm a man that seriously want to have a family and raise kids and want to do it in the long term, then I want a woman that's not loosey-goosey with herself, that thinks more of herself, or that want to be in a committed relationship, that don't have, 50 bodies or 60 bodies or 100 bodies or something like that. What if you and a woman have the
same body count?
Sex is different for men and women.
That wasn't a question.
Well,
what if you and a woman have the same body count?
Well, that's the thing. That's the connection. Sex is different for men and women.
So if you got 20 bodies, she got 20 bodies, do you think that she's loosey-goosey?
Well, it depends on the person, what you think your number is, whatever you want the number to be. I think 20 is a bit much for a young relationship. I think 20 is a bit much for a young relationship. If I'm a young guy, if I'm in my 20s and I want to make somebody my wife or whatever, I think 20 is a bit much. I think 20 is a lot.
She got 20. So her 20 is looked down upon because...
I ain't say looked down upon. It's just different.
So if you know she got 20 and you had 20, do you marry her?
You love talk about man bashing, women bashing, but the point that you never want to bring up is different. It's not the same. You ain't gonna ever make it the same. In your brain, you might want it the same. You might think it's the same, but it's not the same.
It's different.
But let me.
I get what you're saying, but you
point,
ain't answer my question. Now you can ask another question. You ain't answer mine.
Would I marry a girl for 20? Me, no. I wouldn't marry somebody that had 20 bodies.
And you got 20
let me
bodies.
say, absolutely, because it's different for men and women. It's not the same. Would you say that a man could, generally speaking, a man could have sex with somebody, don't know their name, don't care, and just walk up, don't have no attachments, no nothing? You can say a man can do that, right? Would you say, generally speaking, most women can't do that? Most women can't do that. They don't want to and they can't. If they have sex with a man, they want to attach. You such a hoe. Most women, when they have sex with a man, they want to attach with a man. They want to be with a man. Even you can say it like this: most women don't want multiple dicks coming in and out of them. They just don't want it. They don't want it. Even looking from I ain't even take it there. But most women don't want that. Men, it's different. Sex is different for men and women. Women have more of an emotional connection where they give a piece of themselves. You let somebody in you. I'm connected to you. I give off pheromones, whatever, to try to attach to you and stuff like that. But men, it's just like, I got my rocks off. I'm busting a nut. Peace, I'm out. So 20 bodies for a man is different for 20 bodies on a lady. Most of the time.
Bodies are bodies,
in most cases. I'm speaking of the connection piece. A man does not have to connect with somebody to have sex.
Then
a
that
woman,
doesn't make it right.
Majority, we're not talking about right or wrong. We're not talking about right or wrong.
I understand that, but just because that's the way it is, and you're not talking about right or wrong. However, you're excusing the fact that it's different for a man. He can stick and move, and that's fine. But when that woman can stick and move, she's a whore. She is loosey-goosey. She is promiscuous. She's all this, but she is just, and it is, men and women are different. However, if they have the same body count and she don't care nothing about the connection, because just like if a woman, you're giving away your spiritual self with a man is also giving his spiritual energy to that woman.
Yeah, but men don't operate like that though. Whether you think it or not, they don't. And
but you're giving a woman, if it's a depressed woman and you go and have sex, you can take on her depression or her energy, or just like a woman can. It's interchangeable is what I'm saying. Okay, it's interchangeable. I got it. Now, just because society says, well, and maybe it's me being a feminist from the last 2 episodes.
Absolutely,
or whatever.
Feminist.
And I'm not saying that a woman should do everything a man do. I'm just saying that we should not be able to excuse a man just because a man gonna be a man and he gonna stick and move and he gonna. I didn't tell you said that, but society does. He can do that. It's a man and he don't have any emotional ties and he ain't got to know your name. That's disgusting. That you'd rather stick your meat into somebody. You don't know their name. You don't know their last name.
You can say disgusting all day long, but it's the fact. It's what happens. It's the truth.
I didn't say that it's not a fact. I said it's disgusting.
Well, it's disgusting to you, but to most men, it's
disgusting to most women.
Well, okay, and those are
some women.
And those are the same women. Well, you tell me this: why are the men that have the ability to do those things and women see it? Why are they sought after the most?
I don't know. You got to ask women who seek after them people, because that's not. I can't tell you why.
You can't, but you see it yourself, man. You see, like you can use an example of a. Let's use the example of a. Let's talk. Let's a club VIP. Club VIP. You got 2 normal guys sitting at a table. Nobody there. Women don't pay attention to them. Women don't flock to them. Whatever. You put a famous person in VIP. All the women trying to go in the VIP where he at. Even though it's women over there, they want to be a part of it too. They see women want him, and they want him too. They just keep flocking. He got 10 women. He still got 5 more women want to be over there with him because he got the women. He's who he is. They still want to go. They're gonna keep going. And you got all these good looking guys sitting out here. They're not rappers, but they sitting out here, and these women can flock to them, but they don't. The 80% of the women, the majority of the women want to go into VIP where they can get the lifestyle, the hype, the clout, all that kind of stuff. You can just look at a million different reasons why, but to go back to the point that you made, which was a good point. I'm definitely not saying that it's okay. What I'm saying that it's what it is, right? And you talking about when you say, what if a woman did have a sex with 20 men and she ain't had no attachment or whatever? I would tell you that would make me even more not want to be with her if she has no attachment with 20 guys she had sex with.
But if you look in the mirror and you had sex with 20 women, you didn't have attachment.
We're not the same though. It's good and bad to it. But it is what it is. It's good and bad. It's yin and yang.
But
right. The devil has his part to play on this earth, just like God has his part.
But when you bash women like you do,
I'm not bashing. I'm not bashing.
Yes, but you are.
I just said I don't want a woman with 20 bodies. If I was a young guy trying to get married,
I don't want a man with 20 bodies.
And that's fine. That's cool. And that's you. And that's okay. How is it that when you say something about you don't want a man or you don't like this about a man, I say okay. When I say something about a woman, you say I'm bashing.
Because you are bashing. Because
we're saying the same thing, but opposite.
Every instance you giving me is like, oh, but a woman, this man right here, he looking good over here on this side, but she want to go to the VIP.
All right, so
but these
for now, I'm gonna bring it up every time it happens.
Bring it up.
Every time I say something about a woman that doesn't show women in the best light or defend the men, you say I'm a woman basher. But every time you say something about a man, he ain't shit. Why he do this? I don't say you bash him.
I've never said that.
Well, you didn't say he ain't shit. You're right.
I never said I don't ever man bash. Period.
I'm not women bash. I'm just speaking of what. So when I say, when I say women and men are not the same. When I say a man, as a man, I don't want a woman that can't attach to 20 people she has sex with. That's me bashing women. But when you say, well, I don't want a man that has 20 bodies, all I say is, okay. Okay. Yeah. If you don't want that, you don't want that. But you asked me from a male perspective.
I did. So what I'm saying is the double standard, just because it is a double standard doesn't mean that is right. Is all my point. My point is that it's okay for a man to say, I don't want a woman with 20 bodies. But if a woman say that, she, wrong or whatever the case may be, it's all I'm saying.
You fucking delusional.
Watch your mouth.
Absolutely. I'm cursing now. You fucking delusional.
You watch your mouth.
You sit up here and listen to all these women talk about how a man got to be, what a man got to do.
First of all, because I don't listen to women who say that, because that's crazy to me. I don't sit up and listen to a woman talking about on a platform the list of, I don't do that.
I ain't talking about platform. I'm saying even in reality.
In my circle.
Your circle is not even a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the women that's out in the world.
And because you talk to all of them, right?
I talk to all of them.
You talk to all the women in the world, and so you know.
Let's get this understood.
Yeah.
We can't talk in absolutes. We're not going to talk in our own situation. But what we can say, we can talk about what we see when we go out in the world. We can talk about what we see on the TV. We can talk about what we see on the internet. We can talk about what we see on the phone. I know it's always going to be exceptions to the rule, and your circle may not be alluded to this or do this. But if I'm seeing all this stuff on all these different things, you can't tell me there ain't no truth to this when I'm seeing it.
I didn't say it was no truth to it.
Let me finish. I'm trying to put some guidelines in there. So moving forward in the podcast, we won't keep talking about your circle and my circle and all this, because you'll never hear me talking about, well, my circle, we don't do that in my circle.
Well, I mean,
but I'm just saying, I'm just speaking up as a guy in the world, because what it is, you don't pay attention to, when you're out in the world, you don't necessarily pay attention to women unless the conversation is brought up. With me being a guy, I pay attention to almost every woman I come across, and I listen, and I observe, and I talk to women. And I've seen women from fast food workers to lawyers, and they say the same thing. They saying the same thing. I'm like, why is somebody that's a fast food worker saying this? Saying the same thing lawyers saying, or somebody that's a governor. Yeah, like I've talked to. Don't rush me.
Yes, I get that. But you saying that you talk to women. I am a woman, first of all, so I have women friends. So I do see that, Corey. It's not that I don't see it. I don't pay attention to women. I work with majority of women. I have worked with majority of women in most of my jobs. So we do talk.
I get it.
But what I'm saying is what you're saying is what I feel like you're saying of how these unscrupulous women are, or these people who have
unscrupulous. Let me look that word up.
Yeah, do that. Or these women who have low standards. That's not the norm. I think that is a small that's a percentage of how they do this. I don't think that's the norm. Now, when you go on the internet, you go on these platforms, and these women are talking about these lists, and the man got to do this. That is not in the real world. Because I don't know.
That's why I think you're wrong. That's why I know you're wrong.
Well,
because you don't date women, but it's okay. So would you say? Would you say that
you don't date women either?
Would you say? Well, I talk to women.
Right. Okay. Then. So it's the same thing.
Well, women approach me all the time. Women talk to me. I have conversations with women all the time.
Yeah.
And it typically line up. But we talking about women. We're not talking about men. Would you say that? Let me ask you this question before we wrap it up.
Would you say? Don't tell me. Ask me what I say. Would you say?
Ask this question. Answer this. Do you believe that, let's say, anywhere from 18 to 35, majority of the people are meeting people on dating apps?
I don't know.
Well, the data is there. You don't research. I would tell you it's true. I would tell you it's true. Majority of people meet people on dating apps these days. It's actually between 18 and 40.
Okay.
The majority of them meet on dating apps. So if the dating app and it's strictly non-biased and it has information, you can look up any information you want for any dating app.
Yeah.
And it's telling you that this is what the women are swiping on. This is what they like. If the information from the biggest source of where women are meeting men and men meeting women are telling you this is what women like, why wouldn't you believe the data? The data is saying, "Hey,
because you asked me a question. Why would I believe the data?
I'm finished talking about the data. The data saying they want tall men, they want good-looking men, they want men making money. So with that data being said, which is the list I'm talking about, and then you go out in the world and you hear women say the same thing as the data is telling you. At what point do you realize there's a correlation that this is just what women want?
You want me to answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. That dating app is not 100% of women.
No, I didn't say I said majority of women.
It's not a majority of women. It's just the women that are using the dating app, which is a percentage.
Absolutely.
It's not a majority because some women still meet men through, clubs or, setting up or whatever. So the app where the women are going to the app, that percentage. Yes, okay. That's what they want. But you still have people that do stuff old school or different ways. That's just that percentage.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make majority of the women.
So majority would be 51%. So between 18 and 40.
I want 51% of the women who use the dating app.
No. Majority of the women
women on the earth in the United States.
We're not talking about on the earth. If we both can agree, well, we're not going to agree. We're not going to agree. It's the reality. What I've learned this episode is that you want to, you take everything anecdotal. You do not want to listen to stats. You want to listen to information. You think the information that's given is biased when it's proven, when it can be proven that it's factual. Information, numbers don't lie. Numbers are numbers.
Wait, but hold on, because you're telling me, you said I believe that I don't believe in stats. That's not true. It's not like you continue with that narrative. Okay, well, that's not true. You don't believe that majority of people between 18 and 40 are on dating apps. You don't believe that? I said I didn't know.
No, you said it's still. I know it's still people meet old school way, but
I said I didn't know. And what I said was that the percentage of women that are saying that are on the dating apps, that's not the people. The women who don't.
No, all the women on the saying that are on the dating app. All the women on the dating apps.
So the ones on the dating apps, okay, yes, they're your statistics. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And then I say that's not majority of women.
But you don't.
Those are the women that are on the dating apps, which is a percentage of women.
Absolutely. But at what point? But at what point, Tyra, you're a very smart person, and I remember you used to do research. At what point do we say we have a large enough sample size to come up with a conclusion that this is what it is? At what point we're never gonna get 100%. It's never going to happen. We can never ask 100% of the people this question. But at what point do we say, hey, we've talked to 10 million women, and 10 million women all saying the same thing? Oh, but that's not all the women. It's not. But at what point do we say 10 million women is a good enough sample size?
It's a good sample size.
Okay.
However, you should not base off what women think on those 10 million women.
I'm glad you say that.
That's what I'm saying.
I got it. Would you say...
Oh,
I'm asking you the question.
You gonna let me answer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The women that's in your circle, would you say the majority of you guys had the same views when it comes to life, relationships, family? Let's talk about relationships. Would you say the majority of y'all have the same views in your circle?
No.
So out of say it's 5 girls in your circle. You mean 5 women have 5 different views on relationships?
I say they may have 3 different. And it may be all different.
So how many? Just give me a number. How many people out of 5? It's gonna be 3 to have a different view from the other 2, or 3 different from all 5.
It's gonna be 3 different ones. You're gonna have 5 people, 3 different views. One of those other 2 that's like they're gonna fit in with those 3. But it's gonna be 3 different views.
But is it something that you can identify that all 5 may agree on? The outcome may be different. The start, the middle, the finish may be different, but it's something that all 5 of y'all, because y'all in the same group,
you agree something on that you want a man, or that not you want a man, that you're dating men.
Okay.
So that's
okay. So let's take that. That is simply when you're doing research and you're trying to get an answer. That's simply the method that's being used when you're trying to get this information. You know, there's a million different people in the world, but you notice a consistent pattern,
right?
And all these people have the same pattern, and that pattern is, at some point when you see it on the numbers, you see it in life, you're like, okay, then I have to come to the conclusion as a person that does research that that's what it is.
But what I'm saying is, you should not take that sample of and apply it to other people. You should just say a percentage of women, and not majority, and not what women want or what. No, whatever stats that you have from that sample needs to apply to that.
Okay, so
that's all I'm saying.
So if I'm a man walking this earth, and every woman I talk to, every woman I come in touch with, every woman that do anything, answer the question, do you want a tall man? They say yes. So am I not to believe that majority of women that's on this planet, a majority of women? Let me finish.
You asked the question.
I haven't finished the statement.
Yeah.
Well, it's a piece, right? If every woman I ever come in contact with say they like tall guys, am I not to believe that I'm seeing a pattern that women like tall guys? I shouldn't automatically think or believe that women like tall guys. I should be like, well, there are also women that like short guys, which there are. But,
right.
But I'm telling you,
I think you should think that. But I should think that the women. I think you should go back and reflect on what type of woman you're approaching.
I ain't finished my thing.
Well, I mean, I didn't know it was a A and B component to the question.
Well, the other component is if I meet women and they saying they like tall guys, and then I see women in the world and they're telling people in the world they like tall guys, then as a guy, I should assume that women like tall guys.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Let's get this straight. Straight.
A guy's course.
Yeah, absolutely. I am no shape or form trying to women bash. Yeah. I try to hold up for the guys, and I try to bring some stuff to light that you just do not want to agree with me on, especially when it comes to from a man's perspective about women. When I'm telling you what men have to deal with, like it ain't all peaches and cream on either side. I know that. But what I will say is that being a man that have experienced women, a lot of women, I've noticed patterns and things, and I'm like, man, I never understood that, but now I understand why some of those things happen. And as an adult, I can say, you know what, I get it.
Yeah, it's the same on both sides. Being a woman who had to deal with men, it's the same on both sides.
And I would also say that when you get to a certain point, it's all about accountability. And that's what men got to do more of. We got to take more accountability.
Look at you on the woman's side.
No, I'm not on the woman's side.
You say men got to take accountability.
Absolutely. I've always said that. I always said men got to take accountability. And we do have to take accountability, and we will take accountability, more accountability, right? I'm a man that believes accountability. I tell my sons that, but that's not being on the side of the woman. That's if men want to grow, want to be better, want to do better, they got to take accountability.
Yeah.
They got to, knowing the rights of a woman, knowing that you don't have any reproductive rights, you got to be the person to say, you ain't going to get my sperm if I want a kid. Or better yet, I ain't gonna get you pregnant unless I want married. I was having that conversation with you because it has to be both sides of the coin. And the side of this coin is saying that women have more authority over the situation than men. But at the end of the day, a man still need to be responsible. If we cut it off and put a wall right here, I'm going to tell you, a man need to be responsible for everything he does, everything he's a part of, and everything he's going to do. Because the world don't give a crap that you lonely or scared or tired or whatever. They don't care. You got to get out there and do something. That's what I'm all about.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, wrap it all up. What did you learn today?
I learned you don't particularly like women.
Oh, God.
I'm being facetious. I mean,
another word I got to look up. I got
I need to get you a dictionary
Jot
so
these
you can
words
know, because I do bust
No.
out some words.
No, I have Siri. Hey Siri, what is facetious?
I mean, you know what facetious is.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I am a wordsmith.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah, you are. So, I think we had a good conversation today. Well, we always have good conversations, even when they're not being taped. So, what you learned today?
Hey, don't be putting our business on tape, even when they're not being taped. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? These walls has ears. What's wrong with
What
you?
do you mean? We for us to have a podcast, we had to have some type of.
I don't know you. I ain't talking to you.
I'm just talking to some random female.
You're a stranger. I don't know you. Ma'am, thank you so much for coming here, ma'am. I appreciate it. You can leave after this podcast.
What made me want to be on? What made you want to be a podcast with me?
That time I saw you at the gas station, we were talking.
And we're alone.
Man, you crazy. Hey, it's been a real good conversation. Appreciate it, and I guess we'll continue this conversation on the next episode, guys. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.
Bye.